Enrique Sanchez. And so, what's some of the stuff you've been seeing, man? Talk to me about the PHP stuff that you were talking
Okay. So one of the things you used to be able to just go to Google and just like C99, just get all these shells stuff, and because Google will index them. What we were noticing is they actually not only password protecting them, but the first lines they're check the agent, and if the agent is like Googlebot or Google or Ask or Bing, they just return a 404 immediately, so it doesn't get indexed at all. So that they're getting way better at that.
So is that different than, I mean, you can do something in your code that says don't index my site, right? So if you're writing a regular site, you can...
Yeah, you can put it on a robots.txt, but what they do is they actually return a 404, which means is I'm not even here. So when Google goes there, it's like, no, I don't exist.
So they know with your robots.txt and you put don't index, they know that you're there. But with that, it's saying 404, so it's like invisible, basically.
Yes, it's invisible. You actually have to go there with a browser, and then it will ask you for a password, and check the MD5 for that password, and then they will just drop you into a shell that has like FTP, brute force, MySQL, brute force. You can load shares, the usual suspects. Check all the file system. This last one that I saw was pretty interesting. They had already compiled connect back and binding programs that you can just click and it will just automatically do it. And it will go and search like exploit DB for the latest kernel exploits that the machine had. Download it, compile it for you, and run it and give you a shell.
Wow.
Yeah, you just have to like browse, click it. They also made it for Windows, so the kernel part will not work for Windows. But
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, but it's still there.
So have you seen this just a couple of times, or you seen this more often? How many times?
I've seen this way more than 10 times. I'm actually just found myself with a really long one that looks like has been really worked like a really long time, because he actually had the guy had the password on MD5, and then after that had a replace and execute function, PHP function, and then he would zip the stream and then base 64 encode it. So even if you do the eval by yourself, you have to like unpack, and then that unpack, that's a base 64 a binary, then you will have to also again unpack and base 64.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are y'all tracing this back to any like single source, or is this?
Not yet. The problem is this is fairly new, like less than a month.
Wow.
So yeah, you can find the shell without the login and without the hiding. It's a public thing, but this is like people modifying this. So the researching for this is not like just sitting down and Googling, because Google will not index.
Exactly, right? So it's kind of harder to find.
Is
there anything in the code that's
I'm
important?
going to start doing one of the things that I did a really long time ago is I sat down with a couple of people I knew from before. I will not talk to names.
That's fine.
They're pretty famous, way more famous than me, believe me. And we were all chatting the same code. And between all, we came out with the idea that everybody writes code the same way all the time. It's like everybody writes and everybody talks the same time. Everybody writes the code. There's some structures that are just the same all the time. Like you sit down and you code, and you have these structures that you just do automatically. If you Google that, you can actually do like data correlations. Like, okay, so this guy wrote this exploit, but also wrote this program.
Start figuring it out.
So it's like, okay, that's his handle.
You're fingerprinting them.
So it will be like, okay, let's see, this line of code, does it pop up somewhere else? This line of code, does it pop up somewhere else? And just like try to trace it back. But
that's cool.
Yeah, hopefully it will work.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you need a big database of exploits.
Well, I need to get back with you and see in the future if you start finding some of that.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, cool.
For sure.
Thanks, Enrique. Appreciate it, man.